By the way, in order to make the whole thing look truly real, when the webinar gets started, the attendee list builds up progressively as if all the registrants were logging in a natural manner. You see that? You see how the list populates progressively? Oh, and each of the real attendees will find their own name at the top of the attendee list. So they indeed see their name there, making the experience more involving. Anyway, let's move on. Down here, there's the chat box, where your attendees can submit their questions at any time through the webinar. Now you have two options here. If you want to make it a 100% set and forget webinar, meaning that you don't want to be online for your webinars at all, you can simply have all incoming questions being redirected to your email address, and that way you can reply to your attendees at your own convenience. On the other hand, if you want to bring up the reality factor to a whole new level, you can embed an actual live chat, so that you as the webinar administrator will be sitting online answering and interacting with your attendees in real time through the live chat box. So while your pre-recorded video is going on with the webinar presentation, you're answering in real time all the questions being typed in by your subscribers. Do you see now why this is the ultimate internet marketing tool to present, pitch, and sell your products online? As usual, it's at the configuration dashboard where you select which of the options you want to go for. Alright, it's now time to talk about one of the best features of the automated webinar generator software, the delayed buttons feature. You can instruct the script to pop in and out any button, link, or message of your choice under the video window at any specific time through the video. For example, let's imagine that at minute 8 and 15 seconds through the video, you are talking about one particular report. Well, you can instruct the script to pop in a download now button under the video at that exact moment, so your attendees can download that report too. And moreover, let's say that you start promoting and pitching your product at minute 23 and 40 seconds through the video. Well, guess what? You can pop in an add to cart button precisely from minute 23 and 40 seconds onward, so your attendees can go ahead and place their order. Setting up these delayed events couldn't be any easier, really. Let me set up a dummy sample for you. Here at the configuration dashboard, I'm going to go for just one delayed button, but as you can see, you can configure any number of them. So I'm going to have this button to pop in at minute 0 and 10 seconds through the video. And I'm going to have it disappear at minute 0 and 15 seconds. That means that the button will only be visible for 5 seconds, right? The text above the button will be, "Buy my product for only $97. Let me make that look pretty. Just 1 second. Okay. The message on the button will be "Add to cart." You can preview the default buttons down here. Plus, you can also upload your own button design if you wish. And the link to the video would be www.mywebsite.com/my-sales-page HTML. Alright, so let me show you what that would look like. So, I visit that webinar, and as the countdown ticks to 0, I am automatically redirected to the webinar live broadcast room, and now in a few seconds the button should pop in. There it is, and now it fades out. See? Wasn't that totally super simple to configure? Yes, sir, it was. Okay, let me now show you another cool feature you can implement here at the webinar live broadcast room, the polls feature. Just like the delayed buttons, you can configure delayed polls, so you can interact with your audience. Let me go back to the configuration dashboard, remove the delayed button, and set up a test poll so you guys see it in action. And by the way, you can set up multiple delayed buttons and multiple delayed polls together, no problem. But for the purposes of this presentation, I just want to keep things simple. So let's imagine I'm preparing a webinar on how to lose weight, okay? That's just an example. So I'm going to go for just one poll. The poll title will be Weight Loss Poll 1. And the actual question will be, have you ever lost weight using aggressive diets? And I'm going to allow 3 possible voting options. Yes, I have. No, I haven't. And I don't do diets. Now, please mind that these are all pre-recorded events, so the script doesn't actually register your attendees' votes. Instead, you are to predefine your desired outcome for each poll option. So I'm going to assign a 10% to this one, a 65% to this one, and a 25% to this one. Now, obviously, you've got to make sure that they all add up to 100%. Now, let's instruct the script. When do we want the poll to pop in? We want the questions to appear at minute 0 and 10 seconds through the video. And we want them to disappear at minute 0 and 20 seconds through the video. That means that we're giving our subscribers 10 seconds to vote. Obviously, you want to give more time, but this is just a demo test for you. Now, as far as the actual poll outcome goes, we want them to appear at minute 0 and 30 seconds. And we want them to finally disappear at minute 0 and 40 seconds. All right, let's see what that looks like, shall we? So, the live webinar room loads up, and the poll questions will appear soon. There it is. So I cast my vote, and soon this window will pop out. And there it goes. And now the poll outcome should pop in soon. There it is, with my predefined outcome for each option. And there it disappears, just as I wanted. Cool, eh? I'm telling you, if used wisely, polls can become a very powerful marketing tool at your disposal. That being said, please remember that polls should be used ethically, and therefore you should only broadcast poll outcomes that are based on actual researched figures. You can get actual figures from conducting a live poll with services such as SurveyMonkey.com or PollDaddy.com, and asking people on Facebook or your mailing list to participate. And by the way, just like with the webinar registration pages, you can split test the webinar live broadcast room too. For example, you could rotate 2 different versions, both of them with the same settings as far as the attendee list and the chat box, etc., but playing 2 different webinar videos. Assign one video to each version, and you can track which video generates more sales for you at the end of the webinar. And that way, you can tweak and retweak your webinars into a non-stop money-making automated machine. The webinar replay page. Now, all these features of the webinar live broadcast page are all cool and dandy, but what happens if someone misses your webinar altogether? What happens if someone does register to your webinar, but he just can't drop by because of an emergency call, or a late evening shift at the office, or because he just totally forgot, or because he was simply... Well, fear not, because guess what? Da, 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 da. We've got you covered once again. Remember the built-in notification system? Well, you can also queue up some emails after the webinar's scheduled time. For example, let's say you schedule the following email to be sent out 6 hours after the webinar. Subject line: hey, did you miss it? Email copy: hey there, don't tell me you missed the webinar Joe so-and-so has just conducted on blah blah blah. Boy, oh boy, what a shame, because it was awesome. No worries though, we've recorded it for you. Here you can watch the recorded video. Please make sure not to miss it the second time around. Now, this command line, which as usual, all you have to do is pick it up from here, copy it, and paste it down here, will take your subscribers to the webinar replay page, which is a pretty simple page with a standard video player on it, no attendee list, no chat box, etc., just the video and the delayed buttons. Now please note that this page is not meant to look like a live event, but like an actual video, alright? So that's exactly what we give them. And just like with all the other pages, you don't have to create a thing. The software automatically creates this webinar replay page for you too. Now, on top of that, you can select to send these post-webinar emails to all registrants, or only to those who missed the webinar, or those who attended the webinar but missed your product, or those who visited your product but didn't purchase, or those who did purchase the product. You can totally customize your email notifications as you wish. Sweet. Now, you're probably wondering how the software knows who actually did attend the webinar or who purchased your product, etc. Don't worry. I will tell you all about the built-in tracking system in a minute. Affiliate customization. The webinar allows you to configure the webinar experience on an affiliate by affiliate basis. That means that if you so wish, your webinar will dynamically customize itself depending on which affiliate is driving each respective visitor. For example, this is a standard webinar registration page with the built-in webinar presentation box displaying the webinar topic, webinar presenter's name, webinar photo, etc. Well, let's say Joe Smith is an affiliate of yours and he's driving traffic to your registration page. The script will automatically embed Joe's picture and introduce him as the webinar host. And do you know why this is a good thing? Because it usually increases subscription rates. Think about it for a second. If someone is in Joe's mailing list, chances are that he will also like to subscribe to any webinar where Joe is personally involved, right? Obviously, every visitor will see a different photo and name depending on which affiliate drove him to the registration page. All this happens dynamically and on autopilot, so you don't have to edit anything at all from your webinar pages. The script will dynamically adjust these fields by itself. But that's not all. How about if we let the affiliate record a short webinar introduction video, welcoming his own subscribers to the webinar before the actual event takes place? This is how it works. Let's imagine one of Joe's prospects lands on your webinar broadcast room. Moreover, let's imagine Joe has prepared his own introduction video to welcome his own prospects. Well, Joe's intro video will play before your webinar video starts. And once Joe's video ends, your webinar video will automatically and seamlessly kick in, and the whole event will take place. And believe me if I say that your prospects do appreciate that introduction, and that can easily increase sales. And just like before, the script will display a different intro video depending on who is the affiliate driving each individual prospect before giving way to your webinar video. And don't worry, the built-in tracking script knows which affiliate is driving each individual visitor to your webinar. The more you help your affiliates in customizing the webinar experience and bringing in more sales, the happier they will be to promote for you. They are happy, you are happy, we are all happy. Oh, and if there's someone who doesn't come referred by any affiliate, or by an affiliate who hasn't created any intro video, then the webinar video will simply play from the start, without playing any other intro video at all. Publishing your webinar. Okay, now once you've gone through the configuration dashboard, you can preview your webinar registration page and your webinar live broadcast room to confirm that everything looks good. And if so, it's time to publish your webinar online. There are two options here. You can either host the webinar script and the webinar pages on your own server, or you can host them on our server. Let me explain both options. If you select Host it in our server, upon clicking on the Generate Files button, the process will be finished. The dashboard will automatically create and upload the files to our server, and it will give you the links to each of the pages so you can start driving traffic to the beginning of the process, meaning the webinar registration page. The system will start registering your subscribers. It will begin sending out the email notifications, the SMS alerts, and the rest of it 100% on autopilot. At this point, the only thing you have to worry about is to feed the webinar registration page with traffic. That's all. On the other hand, if you decide to host the webinar on your server, upon clicking on the Generate Files button, the system will not only give you the links like before, but on top of that, it will generate a zip file, which you are to download to your computer, for example, to your desktop. And you simply uncompress that zip file, and as a result, you will get a folder called Webinar. And that is the folder you're to upload to your server. Once that's done, well, congratulations, we're done. By the way, that folder you upload to your server contains absolutely all the HTML and PHP files for the webinar. So if you're a programmer yourself or know someone who is, you can recode and reprogram the webinar upside down to introduce any change you wish. You can change the design, you can translate it to another language, or you can even implement new features altogether. So remember, you will have full control over all the files. So you can either upload them to your server as they are by default, or you can tweak them as you wish and then upload them to your server. So if you're a programming wizard, feel free to implement a little bit of magic on your own. Just like before, at this point, all you have to do is send traffic to your webinar registration page, which is now uploaded, hosted, and ready on your own server. Pretty simple, isn't it? And yep, just like before, the software will register your subscribers, send out the email notifications, the SMS alerts, etc., totally on autopilot. So you could be out at your favorite cafe, sipping a cappuccino, while the script runs your webinars hands-free. Oh, and before I forget, you can configure, generate, and upload as many webinars as you wish. You can even run them all simultaneously if you want, either hosting them under one single domain or under multiple domains. That's entirely up to you. There's no limit whatsoever. Do you want to run one single webinar promoting one single product? Sure, that's okay. Do you want instead to run a complex multi-webinar sales funnel promoting multiple products at once? No problem at all. On top of that, you can also use the software to create pay-per-view webinars, meaning webinars you actually charge your customers for. All you have to do is set the webinar registration page as the thank you page in your payment system, meaning the page your customers are automatically redirected to upon completing the payment process. That way, only paying customers will be able to register to your webinars. Cool, eh? Now you can create an actual money-making product out of your automated webinars. Sweet. No matter how far you push your webinars, the automated webinar generator will back you up all the way. In fact, under the My Webinars tab at the dashboard, you will be able to see all your webinars simultaneously, so you can preview them, edit them, duplicate them, get the links to each of them, and what's more important, view the tracking analytics for each of them. The tracking analytics. So, I guess it's now time to talk at last about the built-in tracking system. Yep, we have one of those too. Now, first of all, let me say that you can paste your own tracking code by simply inserting Google Analytics or any other tracker of your choice into the configuration dashboard. On top of that, the software has its own built-in tracking system, which will analyze absolutely every single statistic you need to know. We will get to that in a minute, but let me just tell you that you can drive your traffic to the webinar registration page by using a custom link with some tracking variables attached to it so that the tracking script can grab and analyze all the data. Now, this is a sample of the type of link to use to drive your traffic to the webinar registration page. Do you see this tracking ID 1 and tracking ID 2 variables? You can change that, for example, as follows. Let's say you're driving traffic to the webinar registration page by placing banners on your blog. Okay? So, for tracking ID 1, we could put banners. And then for tracking ID 2, we can put header if we're placing a banner on the header of our blog, or sidebar if we're placing a banner on the sidebar, etc. You can obviously create as many links as you wish by modifying these parameters. Here's another example. Let's imagine you're driving traffic using pay-per-click campaigns. So, tracking ID 1 could be, for example, AdWords, and the tracking ID 2 could be keyword 1, keyword 2, etc. You get the idea. And then at the Analytics tab of the dashboard, you will see all the stats branched by webinar, and then by tracking ID 1, and then by tracking ID 2. That way, you can see where your traffic is coming from and what's generating registrations, webinar views, sales, earnings per click, and all that lovely stuff. Down here, you can also see the stats for your split tests. So you can see which version of the webinar registration page and of the webinar live broadcast page is scoring the highest registration rates, the highest revenue, etc. Again, the idea is to be able to determine what's working and therefore to tweak your webinars into perfection over time so you can create the ultimate money-making machine. Pretty cool, isn't it? But that's not all. Your affiliates can also embed their own affiliate variable in order to create their own custom link. For example, let's imagine you're selling your product through ClickBank, okay? Well, your affiliates will be able to insert their ClickBank affiliate ID here. Firstly, the script will automatically insert the ClickBank affiliate cookie into their visitor's internet browser, so your affiliates do indeed get credited with their affiliate commission. And on top of that, you will be able to see in your analytics dashboard which affiliates are driving traffic, registrations, and sales to your business, so you will know which of your affiliates are doing a good job and which ones are slacking. So, I repeat, you don't have to give a ClickBank official hop link to your affiliates if you don't want. Simply give them the software's custom link and tell them to add their ClickBank affiliate ID here, and the software will do the rest automatically in the background. Oh, and the script is not only compatible with ClickBank, it also works with all the major affiliate networks such as Plymouth, One Shopping Cart, Infusionsoft, Post Affiliate Pro, Pay.com, even CPA networks, etc. Our custom link system integrates with any affiliate network out there. The script has a super strong affiliate tracking system. Traditionally, with less sophisticated softwares, if someone clicks on an affiliate link from his computer, but then he buys from his iPad or from his Office desktop, the affiliate would not be credited with the commission. Not anymore. we've built in the revolutionary redundancy tracking system, which recognizes if a registrant is now using a different computer, and if so, it automatically inserts the affiliate cookie once again. That way, your affiliates can sleep at night knowing that each and every single sale they generate will be credited to their account no matter what.